Hello everyone, Jinx and Micah here, and today we want to share something that was requested by us quite a few times. So, as many of you know, we've been doing this adoption process for a few years now.
Yeah, a couple years.
Couple years, yeah. And we've been really doing this behind the scenes for quite some time, and we've been very private about it just because, the moment you mention adoption, people expect a baby to be at your doorstep tomorrow. And when a process is this long, you want to make sure that, you don't get everyone excited and sound the alarms until you're ready for it. And it's a process.
Well, and we're just making it a point to experience every part of the process, whether it's learning how to become parents, getting to know the types of children that might become available, and how best you can support the child and their birth parent.
Oh, yeah. Fun story. You guys have seen, I've removed over 2,000 people off my friends list because I think when you get into more of a parental mode and start thinking at your life through that lens, you start to just really start paying attention to, all the details of your life that maybe that was cool when I was 20, but now that, we're in our 30s and a baby's on the way, you know what I mean? Your life looks a little different. But we wanted to share one thing that I thought was super helpful. This is an adoption profile book. It's very much... Can we see it? Hold up.
Oh, the light.
The light? Is the light doing it? There we go. You can kind of see it better. We'll put visuals up so you can see it in real time without the light. But what's nice about the profile books is this is very much the matchmaking essential book, and there's a PDF we send out so birth mothers can match up with us, and I guess it's kind of like swipe right, swipe left, right? You find out who's a match for you. And when you're adopting, there are so many variables that go into this, Some people want a boy, some people want a girl, some people are very specific on what race and ethnicity they want the child to be. Maybe they feel more comfortable with a child that looks like them, and that's their parenting style. And maybe they just feel if they're a white couple, they're more qualified to take care of a white baby than maybe a black baby. For us, given the fact our family has every shade of the rainbow, black, white, Asian, a little bit of Latinx, all that, Pacific Islander, our gay family too, we feel we're qualified for any ethnicity, but our major thing is we just want a healthy child. That is so important to us. That's what's important to us. And, that's a choice for every family member. But what's really nice about the adoption profile book is
it tells the story of how we'll take care of them. We're introducing ourselves to the birth mother so they know who's going to be adopting their child. For us, we don't want the child to have any question about what it means to have a loving family, and that's what we want, and that's the story that we're telling here in the profile book. They learn a little bit more about how we spend our time, our work in the community, and of course their family, so not just us, but of course the kiddies that'll be their elder siblings.
Yeah, and it's really crazy because you want to have people get the sense that they know you, but you're also putting your best foot forward, but you're also trying to fit it into a book, so you try to fit as much of your life in as possible, and the kiddies and just our story. And here's our individual parts. What did you feel was important to share in your part of the profile, Michael?
I think it's just important for them to know where we came from, because some of our experiences that we had growing up are ones that this child might have to go through too. And for us to be able to help them out with that, I think might not only be important for the birth mother, but maybe the others that might be advising them on who to give their child to.
Yeah. For me, I obviously talked about, myself and the LGBT plus community. And one thing I was very adamant about is just showing people of different skin colors. I wanted whoever was going to adopt their child to us to know that no matter what race it is, white, black, dark skin, light skinned, racially ambiguous, Asian, what have you, that we always interact with people of different races. We have a family, a rainbow of family, and I want them to not second guess that. I know that sometimes when, it's a black baby going into a white family, there's some blind spots there, and I want them to know that no matter what family they come into, there's people that look like them that are going to help them navigate the situation. I also put in, and I don't know if this is something people strike as a negative, but I'm a big believer in letting people, and you're very Christian and Catholic, correct? I'm more of, let people find what works for them. I know some people want babies raised in Christian families, and I'm totally open to that, especially if that's what you want. But I also put that in there as well. I think all these things are things the birth parents think about, and they want to make sure that their child is in the best hands, and you want to be very transparent about that. I even have a picture of me holding the baby.
I'm holding a cat.
I love it. But
They also want to know where we live, and they want to know about the community of people that will be helping out. So we talked about not only the space that we have in our home, but the amenities that this child will have to grow up in and thrive in addition to the many things that we have in our neighborhood, which many know come with many restaurants, really fun things to do in the park, and of course just this circle of and really just great community around us that not only want us to want to help us become parents, but hopefully be involved in this child's upbringing.
Yeah, and when you're looking through the pictures, I want people to know that, we do have a nice home, that the child's gonna have an amazing Christmas. Flip back a little bit. We want to go to Disney World with a child one day. These are things that are our dreams too, and I know that, all of us as kids want these things. I know that I've come from a very interesting upbringing, and I think both of us just want our child to have better than what we had growing up.
Yeah, well, and again, just no question about what it means to have a loving family, and that's what we want to be able to share with them in a safe place that they can really thrive. I think that's the last page. If you go to the back cover.
You see our white, black, Asian family across the board, and everybody, and gay family. I love it. I think these are just more details.
Oh, that's just the data sheets that they asked for. But on the back cover, they have we have our thanking them, and really just to make sure that the birth mother and birth family really recognizes that we're in this for an open adoption. We want to make sure that this child has that opportunity to thrive, and so we can work together to raise them in the best possible way.
Yeah, and after a lot of talk, we've learned that even if you don't have an ongoing relationship with the birth parents or whatever, it's always important to get as much information as possible. Growing up, not knowing who your parents are can hit everybody differently. You want them to have something, whether it's an address, a Facebook, a picture, a visit once a year. It's not a one-size-fits-all thing. However, we've learned from many of our friends that have been adopted, plus the amazing tutorial instructive class, it's always helpful to have that sense of identity, no matter what, even if it's just pictures. It's important to make sure you give that child that experience, and I feel that, obviously we haven't met this person. We've been in the matchmaking system. There's been some people we wanted to match with, and there's been some people that want to match with us, but it's very much about us always being on the same page, because this is a lifelong journey.
And in reality, we want to make sure that this match is meaningful and is actually appropriate for everybody that's involved.
Yeah.
I really just want to know what you think about even the story that we're telling in our profile book. If you know someone that's actually already created a profile book, maybe what they put in there that compelled the birth mother to share with them, or even some connection that you might even be able to help us make with a birth mother that might be looking for an adoptive family.
Yeah, are you looking for somebody that's looking for a match? That wants some two gay dads?
We'd like to hear from them.
Yeah.
Or our agency would.
So yes, our agency would. Last question. What's the best piece of advice you would give to someone adopting?
Just go through it one step at a time, but pay attention to every bit of it. There's always something in there that you might not even recognize as important for the adoptive child, but even for yourself. And as you do that, you'll learn better how to engage with one another and hopefully be a better parent because of it.
Yeah, and I'm going to open up and tell something about this. So we started this process at least 2 years ago, right?
It was about that. We were pacing ourselves to be engaged and really involved in the whole thing.
Yeah, because when you really execute this, you have to make sure you're on top of everything. So yes, it was a very much to make sure we have all our boxes checked, all our T's crossed, and all our I's dotted. The first person we ever told was Grandma Marge, my grandmother. She was, we were really close to her. Some of you guys know that. We didn't tell a lot of people. We were really private about it, and she was all about it. She was here for it. She passed away recently, and it just that was a tough one. But we've thought about it for a while. Like, we felt that, you know, when this baby comes into our life, we would love the middle name to be Marjorie after her. We've thought of names already. Should we talk about that?
You know, until we see the child,
Yeah,
we might not really
wait.
know.
We might have to
so
wait.
there's so much that we can talk about, so much that we've been thinking about all the way through the process. But until we're presented with the next thing, until we have that next step, all of it is just a concept for now.
Yeah. So that's as much as we're willing to share right now, but just thank you for the support you guys have been giving us. Thank you for the people helping behind the scenes. Thank you for everybody who's been a part of the process, because when you do an adoption process, you need to bring 15 people along with you on that journey. And it has just been so much love, just so much trust, and just thank you for just listening to us and keeping up with us. It has been an incredible journey, and I just feel closer to you guys. And when we're ready to talk about this more, we'll talk about this more with you.
When we have more. When we have more to share.
When we have more to share.
Yeah.
All right. Jinx and Micah signing out.